Moving on to question number 146. The four processes in stakeholder management are 1 dash, 2 plan stakeholder management, 3 dash, and 4 monitor stakeholder engagement. A. Find stakeholders and develop stakeholders. B. Identify stakeholders, manage stakeholder engagement. C. Identify stakeholders and plan communications management. And D. Identify stakeholders, prioritize stakeholders. And the correct answers are identify stakeholders, manage stakeholders engagement. The four processes are identify stakeholders, plan stakeholder management, manage stakeholder engagement, and monitor stakeholder engagement. That's it. All right, let's move on. Question number 147. An activity has an early start ES of day 3, a late start of day 15, an early finish of day 9, and a late finish of day 21. The activity A is on critical path, B has a lag, C is progressing well, D it is not on critical path. And the correct answer is it is not on critical path. I hope you remember this question from one of the questions that I put up in the review questions. These kind of questions kind of show up quite regularly. That's why they're getting repeated, just to keep you on track. Now, uh, I hope you remember why it was not on critical path. So how do you find float on a particular activity? You take late start and deduct early start from it. And if there is a difference, well, there's a float. But if you look at late start is 15 and early start is 3, if they were the same, they would have been on critical path, because on critical path, the float is 0. That means this minus this would have given 0, would give you 0. But this is not the case here, which means it is not on critical path. Activities which are not on critical path have float. By the way, did you know that there is a book which is completely colored and it's only about the notes for PMP exams? All the notes, tips and tricks that would probably need for acing PMP exam. And that's available in a book called Ninja Notes. Have a look. It's all colored from inside. All right, where do you find this? Ninja Notes for PMP 2021? Well, let's go to Amazon.com. Pass Notes, right? That's it. Read and Pass Notes. That's my publication. And you have a few other books, and this is the book that I'm talking about. Now, this is available in 2 different versions. One is Kindle, which is for $9, and the paperback, which is completely colored from inside, is $38. Paperback is now available only for US and few other European and Japanese clients. In India, we have only the Kindle version. If you're from India, you'll just have to go to Amazon.in, and over here you'll have to type the same thing, read and pass notes, and voila, you'll get the same. So you have for $449. All right, let's move on to question number 148. Which of the following statements about control quality is not accurate? A. Prevention refers to keeping errors out of the processes, whereas inspection refers to keeping errors out of the hands of the customers. B. Attribute sampling determines whether the result conforms or not, and variable sampling determines the degree of conformity. C. Tolerance refers to specified range of accepted results, and control limit refer to thresholds, which can indicate whether the process is out of control. And the control quality is only performed in monitoring and controlling processes. And the correct answer is D. Control quality is only performed in monitoring and controlling processes. Well, not true. It shows up in PMBOK in the monitoring and controlling portion. But whenever you have any deliverable and you want to get it validated, you have to first get it verified first. So it's almost like a continuous process. It looks deceptively correct, but it is not. So you'll see that A, this is a perfectly correct statement quality wise. B, attribute sampling. Well, there are two kinds of sampling, attribute and what do you call variable sampling. And the definitions are absolutely correct. And C, tolerances. We are talking about control charts. So this is absolutely correct. But this is not correct, right? It's partially correct, but it's more like a continuous thing. All right. So let's move on to question number 149. While making presentations, the difference between a milestone chart and a bar chart is that, unlike bar charts, milestone charts A show activity start and end dates, B show dependencies among tasks, C identify the scheduled start or completion of only the major deliverables and not all the tasks, B show supporting details. And the correct answer obviously is C, because milestone is basically culmination of a group of activities. Basically, it's not even a task. It just tells us, okay, this is where you have reached, and which is very close to what is written here. Identify the scheduled start or completion of only the major deliverables and not all the tasks. That's it. It's not a perfect definition, but well, it actually relates to milestone best compared to the other options provided, which are actually incorrect. All right, let's move on to question number 150. Which of the following projects would you choose to do? A. Project A with a NPV of $95,000. B. Project B with an NPV of $120,000. Project C with an NPV of $130,000. And Project D with an NPV of $20,000. And the correct answer is C, Project C, with an NPV of US $130,000. So why? Because if all the projects are shown in NPV, simply select the highest. That's it. That's the rule, right? So if you are not from financial background, don't have to worry. Just follow this rule. You'll be financially, practically, theoretically correct. Absolutely correct. All right. So just follow this rule. If all the projects are shown in NPV, simply select the highest one. And that's the highest one right here. You're done.